Oh, behold, the farthest wanderer, and how they still look yonder. How demons of men and angels of Satan would undermine the great reaching of a great someplace then. Oh, how the lesser might admire, how the wanderer reaches higher. But lesser, demon, Satan, and names are all just silly things, because what is meaning but what we give it? We are all the wanderer, going ever beyond in our own lives. And what fool who believes the gods, or the buffoon who believes the science is odd, what could they ever do to take your meaning from you? Exhausted, I set my pen down in the dirt. I breathed as though I had ran a mile, and felt as though I had been with my lover for a while. I didn't know where I was, or why I was there. All I knew was that I was, and I certainly was, somewhere. Near me was a lantern, so I grabbed it and held on to the two other things I had, my pen and the poem I had just written. I sat in the dark for a while, panting, paralyzed with confusion. After a while, as the anxiety turned to the taste of bile, a silhouette appeared, approached, and asked, "You've been on the ground for some time. Are you all right?" I don't know. I don't know much of anything, really, I replied.
Well, how are you supposed to know what to do then?
The silhouette asked. Like I bloody fucking know. Do you think you could show me? The silhouette pondered for a moment before saying,
I don't know everything myself, but I can take you along the path we share.
Sounds better than being alone, I replied, and so I got up. For the rest of the day, we walked. Some parts we talked, and some parts we didn't. I learned this forest I'm in, a mess of darkness highlighted by black logs and glowing green moss, is sparsely populated. The silhouette spoke of a gatekeeper, a being at the edge of the forest who could control who left and entered the forest. It seemed that was my man, or woman, or entity. Gender seemed to not matter here, the silhouette looking entirely androgynous, and not one mention of he or she was to be heard. I was able to remember a bit about myself, just glimpses really. A partner I loved very much, fast cars, talking to myself in a room for hours, for some reason. But most of it remained locked away, and I guess that was for the best. I would probably be much unhappier if I was aware of what I had lost by coming here. But at last we reached the gate as the sky lightened. The path was narrow enough that I had to walk behind the silhouette, and at some point they got far enough ahead of me that I couldn't see them. When I had finally ran far enough on the path, I only saw the gate and the gatekeeper, a gray floating mass. "Where's my friend?" I asked. The gatekeeper looked over me and said calmly, "You must break the loop today, or tomorrow will be the same." And then the sun rose. Maybe the dark isn't what's around. Maybe the dark is born in us, or like a hound, maybe the dark hunts us down. I'm not saying it should all be bliss, but feeling it all is a feeling I miss. I'm so grateful for what I have, and I'm so gray. But if I'm strong and press ahead, surely the dark must go away. Exhausted, I set down my pen. For a moment I was dazed and confused until I had remembered what had happened. In a hurry, I got up and sprinted down the path we had taken yesterday. It took me most of the night, and like an idiot I had left my lantern, but I made it to the gate. The gray mass I identified as the gatekeeper seemed to focus its attention on me. I couldn't really tell for sure, but out of breath I demanded, "Where's my friend?" They knew. They could leave, the gatekeeper said. "So why can't I leave?" "You haven't broken the loop," the gatekeeper replied. "What do you mean?"
I mean what I said. The loop. The one you spend all your life in. living the same day, making the same mistakes. You haven't broken it, so you can't leave,"
the gatekeeper said, almost condescendingly. "Why not? Am I dead? Is this all a dream?" I asked.
"Dead, dreaming. What does it matter? Break the loop."
At last, exasperated and frustrated with this pointless conversation, I demanded, "How?" And to that, I got no reply. For the rest of the night, I tried to get out of the gate anyways, to no avail. And then the day broke.
Break the loop, or tomorrow will be the same.
The next day, I did the same as the last, and for about a month I must have continued doing the same, all to the same result, failure, and every day, to start the day, as if taunting me, I heard the same sentence in my mind.
"You must break the loop today, or tomorrow will be the same."
At last, finally broken, after months of trying, I lay on the ground. No poem. I'd stopped writing long ago in my desperate attempts to break the loop, and today I didn't reach for the lantern. It just laid there. I finally understood now. Understood the wretched pain of being. Every day I had tried, and all I had gotten was hurt. I knew myself now. Knew I was a coward afraid of loss. Knew I hated myself so much I saw myself as unlovable. I knew all I was good for was failing. So I laid there, doing my best to just not exist until day broke again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
Break the loop, or tomorrow will be the same.
Those words echoed through my mind as I lay on the ground for days, and finally, in a haze, I stood up. There was no determination in this standing. Not determination for a tomorrow, at least. I knew how to break the loop, so I walked into the woods and kept walking. A light rain started midway and kept going as I made the final march. At last I found just what I was looking for. A cliff. The journey had taken me most of the night, and now daybreak was close. I sat and reviewed all of my memories, having a moment of doubt, and then day broke.
Break the loop, or tomorrow will be the same.
Once more, I forced myself up, and like a dead man, I marched to the cliff. There was still doubt in my mind. Was a way out of the loop to end it? Was the only thing there ever would be was a loop? Why couldn't there have been more? I approached the cliff's edge, calm now, and sure that I would be free, when a breeze blew. I heard the rustling of paper and turned to see the 2 poems I had written with my pen. I guess, in the fog of it all, I had lost them. But seeing them made me want to stop. And then day broke.
Break the loop, or tomorrow will be the same.
I guess I had doubted myself too much again, and wasted all my time. Typical idiocy. I thought about getting up and walking to the cliff, so I could walk off of it. Part of me really wanted to. I went to get up, and in the dirt beside me, I saw my pen and blank sheets of paper. If I was going to die anyway, might as well take my time, right? So I picked up the pen. Music can haunt the grandest of halls. Art can supersede the greatest of falls. If we just die anyway, why wait? If we just die anyway, why rush? Maybe life is overeating with a full plate. Maybe losers got it right, just don't think and smoke kush. Meaning is a jumper you knit for yourself. But I guess I've said that. Knowing the solution doesn't put your problems on a shelf. But I guess it's easy to distract yourself with chit-chat. So why not distract myself with more art? Then I can pretend to get past the problems on my part. After writing, I felt better, and then for the rest of the day, I sat and contemplated whether jumping would really be worth it. Break the loop, or tomorrow will be the same. I spent the next weeks writing and taking care of myself. Every day was the same, and I was alone. These things didn't get better. I did, I guess. I worked out, I meditated, I did what I loved. I still felt the same melancholy, but I forced myself ahead. I forced myself to make progress, and that was better. I stayed for a long time, doubting whether or not the gatekeeper would let me out. But at long last, when I gathered my writings and grabbed my lantern, I said goodbye to the forest. If the gatekeeper didn't let me out, I'd just try again. As long as I was here, I could try again. I could lose every day for a year and still come back, something anyone could do. That was beautiful. I rounded the corner in the path I had followed once, and the silhouette was, well, still not there. I had rounded it once with the silhouette, though, and I was thinking of them. And I had rounded that corner in the path many times again, alone. This time, though, the gate was open. The gatekeeper was not there. Day broke, and I stepped out of the dark forest, a free man. Okay, and that was The Loop, by yours truly. I wrote this thing, and this is my first time sharing a short story with my YouTube channel that I wrote not in the company of my YouTube channel. It's a bit surreal, a bit dark, but if you made it this far, you probably already noticed that. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Memento Mori.